evening, Worlds Collide family! Happy Thursday! This is an exciting night. I am here in the booth with Taylor Swifting. Taylor, tell him what we got tonight.
Well, hello, good evening. Tonight we have the finals of the Moogle Cup number 5, featuring Soyhr versus NoobTree87.
Absolutely, man. We've kind of got a star-studded cast here in the Restream booth. We've got Taylor Swifting, who was, like I said, my co-commentator, who was the Moogle Cup 4 champion, along with Papa Shango, doing the Restream, who was our Moogle 1 champion. So this is star-studded tonight, and it's fantastic.
Yes, I'm quite excited to see a couple of great runners here. Hopefully, one of them will be joining the club here. But I think everybody's been a winner in the Moogle Cup. Fantastic tournament that we put on.
The races that I have been able to catch, they've been super fun to watch. I've seen a lot of improvement from our Moogles, which is really what this is all about. And I think everybody's had a really good time, made some good friends. The Moogle mob is absolutely terrifying, and that's what we want.
Yeah, absolutely. This is. I'm glad that I did not have to compete here in this cup. Really strong field of runners, and I think the engagement here with the community has been really fantastic for Moogle Cup 5. So I'm excited.
Yeah. It's funny. I say that every time I do a Moogle Cup now. Is I said that with you guys too in yours. It's like I'm glad I'm not in this one. But yeah, we've got NoobTree87 with Golden Shocker as their mentor, and Soyhr with Drinks Glue as their mentor. So that's definitely some powerhouses in their pockets. Great to be able to take advantage of their knowledge. Both of them are fantastic runners and so much smarter than me when it comes to this game.
Absolutely, two of the strongest runners certainly in the community. Yeah, I'll be really excited to see. I know that those two know quite a bit about how each other run, and I'll be interested to see if any of that affects some of their advice and guidance that they give to their runners, and see if maybe there'll be some meta plays tonight. So.
So NoobTree, whenever they were in the group stage, the runners that NoobTree had to go against was Chicken, who is our tracker tonight, Cheese Lord, and Amethyst Pixie. So definitely some steep competition there. And then you have Soyhr, who on the other side had Retro Dad RPG, Squishy Panda, and Kefka Wickle, also known as Professor Wiggles. So again, lots of competition here. And watching these Moogles run, it's been a lot of fun. I love it. And looks like we're off.
Yeah, looks like we're off here. I'm seeing a Yeti start. I know that'll make some people happy. We've got the Eddie and Shadow as well. So a couple of free checks, some cheap shopping available, and of course maybe with the Yeti, maybe we'll see some Coliseum plays too. So.
And we've got Shock, Edgar, and we have Rage on Shadow. Now, I'm a huge Rage fan early on, so this is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, a couple of really strong abilities here. Looks like they're both gonna start here with a quick check of Narsh. I want to see if where they go next and any divergence. I know with Eddie in the party, it can really, usually you can kind of change up your standard. Most people will do Narsh and then maybe return his hideout into South Figaro. But when you have an Eddie involved, maybe you just go right to the castle. Maybe you go try to do cheap shopping in South Figaro World of Ruins. So we'll have to see where they go.
Yeah, and then you add that to the mix. Check to see if it's going to be a character up there in his cave, and all they have to do is go up a couple screens in this Narsh town, see if it peeks out in his cave. If it doesn't, then you know it's either an Esper, an item. You can move on with your life.
Yeah, and I think the other thing you mentioned too with Shock and Rage, probably, Rage can be fantastic, can be hit or miss, but with Shock certainly, probably the strongest ability in the game. You can also just do less shopping and just go right into checks. So we'll have to see if they favor maybe just getting going sooner, or if they want to take advantage of doing some looting and shopping here and seeing if there's maybe some additional power available.
Yeah, you see over here Soyhr and probably NoobTree's going to the castle. Sawyer's picking up that free check from Gal's dad's house, also finding some dried meat in the merchant there, so that's one less thing that they have to look for.
Looks like we've
And
got
I
our
get
first
Crusader.
Esper. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's nice with those free checks like that is getting that progression right off the bat. But then you have NoobTree picking up a Valiant Knife, and if somebody can use that, man, that's some great offense early on.
Looks like we're gonna go do Returner's Hideout here. I'm curious to see when he does the castle check. That's Soyhr. We don't have a natural VK user just yet here, and I haven't seen if they've checked to see if somebody can use that quite yet.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a great job early on. Stay out of your menu until you absolutely have to be in there, like for saving and things like that. That's when you want to check those Espers and check who can equip what. So
And I didn't
here's the
see
question.
either of them check to see. So in Narsh, you can go check to see if there's a character at the Yeti spot up on Triton Cliff. I didn't see if either of them had peeked that. Sometimes that's a nice play to do early game when you're in Narsh. It might direct you on where you're going to go to find a first character. So looks
Yeah,
like
neither one
Soyhr
of
is
them
making
did
his way
that.
to the castle. Yeah,
Yep.
go ahead.
So here's a question for you, Taylor. Are we going to get an early floating continent play, do you think?
I would be surprised. I think I certainly with this party, I would probably definitely do Cave of the Veldt first. And I probably would have peaked that Yeti spot. Maybe I think floating continent we could. I think it's a meta play. You either do it early or you try to avoid it entirely. So we'll have to see. Certainly, there's two guaranteed chances for progression up there, but it's a long check. And it can be a little dangerous too.
That's true, but on the flip side of that, you don't really have a whole lot of other options. You've got the one Yeti check, you've got the two free checks, and then you've got Ancient Castle and Engine Room, and that's it other than
Yep.
Cave on the Veldt. So they might be forced into that play.
We'll have to see here. I think going to Ancient Castle is equally kind of as slow too. It's a real bummer to go all the way down there and you find it's just a flame shield. You do get access to the dragon, which is really nice. But certainly if it turns out to be a zonk and you don't get anything out of it, that certainly always feels bad. You might want to go down there though. There's a couple of chances for the offerings too with that VK, so maybe that will influence them towards Ancient Castle.
Yeah, absolutely. And depending on what's on that Crusader, if it's got the muddle spell or something like that that could easily take out that Katana Soul, then that's definitely a pretty good play.
It looks like Sawyer's making his way to South Thurwold Ruin here for the half-price shopping with Eddie, so we'll have to see if there's anything valuable here. Looks like NoobTree is right behind him as well. So
Yeah. Finding those cheap hyper wrists, definitely going to be looking for like your earrings and anything to really boost up that Yeti, which we found that hero ring looted in the box, so that's nice.
didn't see a rage ring. Saw some dragon boots. I don't think anybody's going to be doing jump strats here today, and certainly not with the starting party. Haven't seen anything else too valuable yet. Looks like Sawyer's taking the kind of little hidden trick here, which I think is I see a lot of the top runners doing this now. I think it's a little more efficient way to loot through South Figaro, and we see a pair of a dragon horn there, and we know where the dragon boots are. So it'll be interesting to see if Soyhr maybe decides to go back and pick up a half-price pair of dragon boots.
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing. With Edgar being a natural lance user, if you happen to find a lance early on, that's not a bad strategy at all.
Yeah. And he does have shock. That's certainly a great ability. But even maybe just a speculative, just go pick him up. One thing I like with Eddie is anything you buy half price, you can sell it right back, and you don't lose any money. So knowing that you have the dragon horn, maybe you just want to pick that up, and maybe pick up a bog later, or just another character that can equip a good lance. So
yeah.
We're looting the basement here, so we don't have a cell, so we want to go here, I think, and pick up some extra loot versus heading towards our first check. And I haven't yet seen what spells were on that Esper yet, so we don't yet know if that's maybe a source of power.
Yeah, I mean, if we get a magic +2 on there, that's going to team really well with that shock. If we get a strength +2, you can throw that on Edgar, who is a natural big stick user, so that you can go ahead and start, pumping him up. And we found a Blizzard Orb for that Yeti in the Narsh basement.
That's an interesting pickup. I'm not sure if I like the Blizzard Orb or not. Sometimes it works in your favor, and sometimes sometimes it helps the enemy. But we'll see if they decide to put that on the Yeti.
Yeah, I mean, you've got glue in your back pocket. He's
Yeah,
probably quivering with joy right now.
yeah. I think I saw a Magus Rod there just picked up in the basement too, which is a fantastic item for a magic user. So we will have to see. I think if you wanted to put that, it probably would benefit either Eddie or Shadow here, but I don't know if they can wear it.
Mm-hmm. So with those starting offenses, it wouldn't surprise me if they kind of push scaling quite a bit, just because they can get away with it with the Shock and the Yeti. And we kind of saw a peek at the rage list on NoobTree's side. However, with it all spread out in the menu like that, you can't really see what's there. So we might have something, really powerful on that side too.
Yeah, it's always tough to know what's in there. Usually until you get into your first grind fight, it's kind of hard to find time to go through the list here. But I do think, yeah, pushing scaling here is a great option. Looks like we're checking the Zen Thief now here on the World of Ruin side to see if maybe it'll be one more Esper. If they, depending on what the price is, we won't know if this is an Esper or not unless they decide to buy it. He doesn't tell you in the World of Ruin side. We'll be curious to see if maybe NoobTree goes the same place, or maybe he decides to. Looks like NoobTree is actually going to start heading towards the engine room and maybe even an ancient castle.
Oh heck yeah, let's go.
Yep. And we did get a Magus Rod there put on Shadow. Looks like maybe we're putting it on Eddie there for Shock. So Shock is going to actually absolutely clear out just about anything you come across here. So a lot of power.
It's unfortunate that we haven't found any rods or shields yet, because then it really would look nice to go down to Ancient Castle and just be able to break that shield on the dragon.
Yep, or Super Balls too. So obviously Super Balls, an item that's really only available here in the Moogle Cup. Gives you lots of power early on, and a great way to go clear dragons. Certainly with a couple Super Balls, the Opera House Dragon is something you could take as early as being on level 3. So
yeah, and unfortunately, NoobTree finds out the Intangier is one of the grind fights right outside of the cave. Terrible fight. Just get out.
Yep. You can always run away from Intangier free. There's absolutely no point to try to take that fight. It won't even give you any experience anyways. So
nope.
Okay.
This is much better.
Much better. Yep.
Yeah. We could Shock. If we had bought Revivifies, we can kill everything on this screen with Revivifies.
Looks like we're just going to Shock through them. Looks like we've got... so we found Bahamut. It looks like as well there. That must have been the Zen Thief item. I didn't see any major source of offense there yet, but looks like we're doing Cave in the Veldt here on Soyhr. And this is a great starting check too. You can walk and grind through it. You can see what the reward is. It's the only location in the game you can actually tell from the sprite whether it's an item, an Esper, or a character. And there's a save point at the very end too, so you get a little bit extra safety, and you can warp out if things go wrong.
There's also this monster in a box here. Now, if it comes that the sprite at the end shows that it's a dead check, this early on, I'd go ahead and take it.
Probably would too. You want the experience, so certainly, and it could be a really valuable item. It could be an Illumina, a Ragnarok, an experience egg. And you can always peek it too, and if it turns out to be a Poltergeist or Magic Master too, then you know where they're at, and you can reset and go elsewhere. So,
yep. As someone once said, knowledge is power.
Okay. Interesting moment coming up here on the engine room path, and it looks like we've found our first character. That is a Celis there, so that's certainly going to be a valuable check, and we'll want to see if Soyhr makes his way to the engine room check as well. Looks like just an Esper here at Cave in the Veldt.
But it's progression, so you go ahead and look at it and try to do it. Hopefully it's nothing too nasty that he can just go ahead and take.
Yep. Soyhr is still here on level 3. It looks like we'll need to take some grind fights here at the save point in Cave in the Veldt. Hopefully we'll get some good encounters.
Well, this is definitely not it. The Repo Man and my mind just went blank on what the other thing is called. Very early fight in the vanilla game, so not very good.
Yeah. Safe, but not going to give you the experience that you need. It's going to take a lot of these to even get just a couple of levels. So
yeah.
Coming up here on the engine room boss and NoobTree's side.
So what you really want to see on this Celis is give me a Magitech Celis, and I'll just do full Magitech.
That would be a great option.
Let's just go to town.
Okay, we get tap dancers on the martial fight. They can be a little dangerous here. I'll have to see how rude they decide to be. Looks like they've already stopped Eddie, which is never fun.
Yeah, the thing that scares me about these tap dancers is their waist shake. Muddling that rage user would be pretty awful.
Yeah.
Looking at the rages, we have the one that we've got on NoobTree, the Meteor. Not fantastic, but it will definitely get you through with that AoE damage. The other rages, I saw Gold Bear, but there weren't really a whole lot of S tier rages on there.
Yeah, no. Looks like able to get through it safely. Meteor, it's a long spell to cast. I think it got some really good RNG there. Looks like Shadow decided to cast it 2 turns in a row, which is always great. But it'll definitely get you through. It'll get you through some tough fights. Ignores defense. It's non-elemental. Get through a Magimaster. Push comes to shove with something like that. So.
Yeah, and we had a throw Celis and then a little bit of pocket change back in the very back of the engine room. Now I wonder if NoobTree goes down to Ancient Castle.
That will be an interesting decision here. Having just picked up a character. And a character with some pretty good checks here, I might be inclined, and it's one of those decisions where you either if you don't go now, you're probably never coming back. So
yeah. On the other side, we've got Soyhr with this guy, and we got a very, very lucky Wild Fang come out and hit Rexel. So great aim with the doggo.
Yep, and I think we might have broken a Thunder Shield too, which is a really wise decision. You don't like to break shields if you don't have to, but this fight can take a very long time if you don't do that, and I think probably a good decision. So
yeah, absolutely, because any of the offense that we have is untargetable or is area of effect. So definitely on this fight, it would slow you down. NoobTree looks like he's probably going to flip over, check what's in the basement, and does he do Opera House or does he do Magitech?
That's a good question. Or maybe it'll be a character here in the basement too, and that might change their decision as well. So I don't think NoobTree went through the basement earlier, or maybe they did. So we're gonna check the shops here. There's our earrings finally.
Yeah, and we've got plenty of money to spend on them.
Earrings are.
Oh, go ahead.
Yep, earrings are one of those critical items you pretty much always want. At least 4 pairs, maybe 6 in pretty much every single game you play. So.
Soyhr got through his Rexel fight, and we're gonna see what Esper he gets from the Veldt Cave.
Let's see Super Balls there in South Figaro. They're not on discount on the World of Balance side. NoobTree not electing to buy them. I think already confident with the power that they have. So. Picking up some extra loot there. Find a behemoth suit in the barrel up top. That's always a nice piece of gear.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Thamasa is one of those nice places to loot. It's actually got a large amount of chests for the little amount that you have to walk.
And actually, I was looking at Sawyer's side. What was the basement there?
Our tracker's gonna have to embarrass us and tell us because I didn't see. I was looking at the same thing. Unicorn.
Okay, got a third Esper, so not a Zonk.
Oh, cheap rods.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have those for the Rexel fight, but we'll still pick them up anyways.
Yep. And that unicorn's got +1 magic, so yeah, just put that on old Eddie and let's pump up his shock. It'll kind of fall off towards end game, but getting there, that's probably going to carry a lot of his fights.
And we could have maybe elected to put that on the throw Celis too, but we'll be curious to see if we just how we build that Celis. So we're going to look to maybe throw shurikens by the end game. Maybe Celis will just be swinging a stick here at some point. And we won't probably need to, we have shock already, so are we going to go look and try to hunt down some fire skeins or some bolt edges, some water edges, or just keep moving forward and stick with shock? So,
Cursed Ring for an offering. Yes, I love a Coliseum play in Moogle Cup. But
also
not
some
this.
fixed dice in there too.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah.
I did see a cat hood. I know. Yeah, you said the fixed dice. You almost want to reset and try for that offering again, I think.
Yeah, I did see if they saved before. That's probably, I always like to save before I go in there. It looks like they probably didn't. So, and Cursed Ring is not one of those items you see very often, so you probably won't be able to find another one here. But if you do, you know where that offering might be. So.
Yeah, I want to say that I saw them in a shop somewhere, but that's not one of the things that you keep back in your memory.
Looks like Soyhr is making their way up to Triton Cliff.
Ooh, so we're going to do a blind Yeti check, probably. There's no point in coming up here if you're not going to go all the way through.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see what dragon is enjoying the opera. And it's Skull Dragon, probably the best dragon that you could find early on.
Yeah, especially already having that VK in hand. We'll pick up a free muscle belt. That's the guaranteed reward here, along with the extra Worlds Collide item that you'll get. He's one of the easier dragons to take down too. So up here on Triton Cliff, we're going to see what the other dragon is. Looks like it's the Storm Dragon.
Yeah. A little nastier, especially with this Wind Slash coming out. We haven't learned any bolt spells, but also doesn't have the highest HP, so he might be able to get through this.
Yeah, we've got Bahamut. That's a great offensive Esper to use here. We've still got Shock as well, so.
And NoobTree gets past the Skull Dragon. It would be fantastic if it not only drops the muscle belt, but an offering to go with it. That would be perfect.
That would be the dream.
It would be.
Ooh, that's a good item. We can't use, so we get an Atma weapon. An Atma weapon in Final Fantasy VI. It really takes into account your levels. So we can't use it just yet. We'll need to get to probably around level 30 before that becomes an item that really has some value for us. But we have both on NoobTree side, Eddie and Celis, that can use that guaranteed. So.
Oh, good job, NoobTree, remembering where that cursed ring was in the shop and going back and buying one.
That is huge.
Yeah. And an ice shield on Soyr's side.
Okay. And in the Coliseum, so I think they got zombied here the first time around, if I remember correctly. I always like to maybe throw a ribbon on our character in the Coliseum if we can avoid some of those nasty status effects that some of the enemies will use in here.
Yeah, it was that break spell. I know we had a ribbon from the Narsh basement. I don't know if they sold it. There it is.
And we've got the fish fight up here at Triton Cliff. So it'll be anywhere from 15 to 60 seconds here before we get to the main boss. But one of the relatively easier fights here. Just a little bit slow, but should be able to get through this no problem.
Yeah, speaking of getting through it, NoobTree got that offering and is now set up with a VK offering on Celis.
Perfect. And the last piece of the puzzle here will just be find an Esper that's got a nice HP plus boost on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that character's pretty much set. Which leaves the Atma probably going on Edgar, since Shadow, even if the seed rolled that he could wear it, because he's a rage user, he cannot wear it.
Yeah. and that Atma will be a perfect one. So when Shock, as you mentioned, Shock is probably the best ability in the game, but falls off really right around the final Kefka fight. It kind of becomes not the best source of damage, so that'll be a great way for Eddie to transition to early to in-game offense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Soyhr hasn't found that offering. It'll be interesting to see here if they take the monster in a box here. That is in the cliff behind here.
Ooh.
Get a Genji glove too. So,
I mean, if you find, I mean, Soyhr hasn't found the Atma weapon, but if you find double up on any of those big sticks, that's really good offense.
Yep.
And that Zone Seek is a magic power +2.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of those Espers was an HP plus Esper. I don't know, they were going through really fast.
Yep. Looks like doing the Magitech factory play here on NoobTree's side. So 3 checks here. The first 2 can be an item or an Esper. Then you'll do the train cart ride here. And the third check is the only spot where you can possibly get a character. I presume they'll be going all the way through here and not warping out after the first 2, but we'll have to see.
I mean, this early on, whenever you still need progression, I can't imagine you not going all the way through, especially taking advantage of all those levels that you can get. And we got Narapa here, doing Narapa things. If we've got that X-Zone spell learned on NoobTree's side, that would be a great way to get through this fight. Or we can just do that.
Yep. And pretty good damage, even with low HP pool this early in the game here from that Celis. Looks like we do have a character up here at the Yeti spot. So, and it is a Gao.
It's Gao.
Interesting.
Lock and Kane in chat pointing out that yes, it was the Bahamut Esper that was 100%. I don't think NoobTree has that. If that was the Zen Thief Esper.
So this is a really interesting point here. We're definitely going to do the Gao checks here. Probably, I think I don't remember if Soyhr found the dried meat. I assume they did. I think that was at the Gao Manor check early game. And depending on what we find there, if we find Soyhr finds another character there, may lead them to really divergent paths. We may not see the Soyhr check the engine room checked and find that Celis. So maybe go down different paths here. We'll have to see.
Yeah. On NoobTree side, we have Dataluma, who is very quickly going down. And we have Doom on Soyhr's side. Remember whenever I said that Blizzard Orb on the Yeti? You know, the storm?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we've got pretty good offense here. I think the great thing about Shock, so Doom has 2 phases, and in the second phase, after he blinks on the screen, he'll apply the image status to himself and make himself resistant to an element. Shock gets through all of that, so it'll get through the image status, and Shock is non-elemental, so you've got a great source of damage here.
Oh, who cares about Shock when you've got Edgar like multicasting Bahamut?
Yep, and we also found another Rage we're using here. Landslide is a fantastic single target spell. It does a lot of damage, and gets through that no problem.
Nice. That is one of the statue bosses out of the way. You're not going to see it in the tower now. That's kind of a relief whenever you see it like that.
Absolutely. Yep.
So this Gao, I wonder if Gao goes in for somebody.
This will be the 4th character here for Soyhr. So, and it's X Magic and Steel. We have that +2 magic Esper, I believe. And with X Magic, that could be a really great source of in-game offense. Something just like Fire 3 is a great spell to use with X Magic. If we find Ultima or Merton, X Magic can be huge. So,
great job on Sawyer's part, keeping his party down to 3 before going straight to the Veldt check, so you don't have to do an extra menu.
We'll have to see if the Veldt plays nice. You can come here and get your dried meat, but depending on what encounters, so on the Veldt, you'll face the encounters that you've already seen in the game already, and you need to find certain types of encounters. It has to be 4 or fewer enemies, and it needs to be a normal attack. It can't be a back attack or a pincer attack or a side attack. So it can be you can come here and you can have to go through quite a few encounters before the reward shows up. So
Yeah, and then having Yeti on the Veldt, like you have to kind of time your attacks around Yeti so that he doesn't go and hit the sprite when it shows up.
Yep. Always a little extra management needed when you've got the Yeti in your party. So.
Mm-hmm. And at the end of the train ride, we've got Vargas and the Ipoos. Probably not going to last very long with that VK that Celis is swinging for 1K a pop.
No, great boss to see here. Always scary to go on the train ride. You've got those 3 forced encounters, and the last thing you want to see here is something like a Doom Gaze, and you can't really control what level you're at. So this is a welcome sight to see, and makes quick work of it.
Oh yeah, and speaking of that Yeti hitting the sprite, but what? Okay, we left the Veldt, and okay, I think that was an accident. Got it. All right, the nice thing about before you go into this very last boss fight, you get a story heal, so you can go up and save, but you don't have to use any resources to heal up to full. It's gonna kill that VK damage though.
Yep. And I saw, so checking here our levels, probably make sure we're not vulnerable to Doomgaze, but also, interesting enough, unequipping the Yeti here, I think in anticipation that if this is a character, I think NoobTree is planning to probably get rid of the Yeti. I probably will here.
Yeah, not even looking at what, well, now we're looking at what Terra has, but yeah, wasn't even a hesitation there.
Yep. And the Veldt, here we pick up the Carbuncle Esper.
Mm-hmm.
So not a character here. We'll have to see where we decide to go next. Are we going to go into Serpent Trench? Are we going to go to the engine room and ancient castle checks? I would think that Soyhr probably is going to make their way to Serpent Trench here, but we'll have to see. Looks like maybe we're making a Coliseum check here.
Yeah, well, he will see the offering, so that will be nice. Yep. He has not seen Celis yet in the engine room check, so again, now we're going to start doing either Ancient Castle or Floating Continent.
Yeah, I would.
Kefka Narsh.
Yeah, and the way the game, I think they typically describe it as that characters lead to characters. So, having found that gal, you know, I think you'd be inclined to think that the Serpent Trench probably would lead to your next character, or maybe you go do Floating Continent, and a little bit of risk there. I mean, if you go do Floating Continent and find that it's not a character, you'll certainly get the progression. But yeah, in terms of Espers, which you know, you might take you a long time to find where that Celis is at. So.
And we see that break come out on Soyr's side from those Serpius birds. But he had saved right outside, so he was able to reset. If he has that ribbon, go ahead and plop that on.
I think we have one here. Maybe just take it. Oh, there we do. Yep. So that'll be able to get through that just fine.
Yeah, definitely a jerk bird.
Yep.
I like it. All right, NoobTree on this other side, having just gotten that Terra, doing a little bit of Esper management. We have a Strength +2 Esper. That's ooh
nice.
Oh man.
Looks like we might be building Terra towards that. Now we just picked up Terra. She's got 5 checks. You know, where would you typically like to go first here, finding a Terra?
Well, I'm pretty sure that NoobTree doesn't have to worry about scaling at this point. So I would go ahead and take the free check at the sealed gate. And then oh, you know, I don't know where I'd go after that. There's a lot of choices. That's the problem.
Yep. Yeah, if we go Seal Gate's a great check here. You know, we're definitely well into the mid game here. I think we got some great equipment, so we may choose to loot this or just walk right through it. It's a pretty quick check here if you just walk right through it, which it looks like NoobTree, they're going to do that. There's the Welk check after that, but then beyond that, there's the Leet River and a couple of other longer checks here.
Yeah, we're probably never going to see Leet River. Welk is good, especially if you want to go ahead and try to go up to Kefka at Narsh. But really, you're wanting to look for the checks that are fast because we're really getting to the end of that progression that we need to get.
We're starting to see some real divergence here. So Soyhr has elected to go up to the floating continent. They'll be up here for quite a while. We'll see if they pick up a character 5, maybe even could potentially pick up characters 5 and 6 up here if it was generous. But really starting to be on a very different divergent path. So.
Absolutely. Oh, and there's a Luridin. We already have the Landside Rage, but if we didn't before, we would have it now.
Yep. A couple of good experience fights up here. We'll have to see what the bosses are. So you have to. So at the end of these 3 fixed encounters, you have to take 2 boss fights, and they can be a little dangerous here. So if we run into something like a Doomgaze, a Matcher Master, Poltergeist, still some really dangerous bosses here in the pool.
Yeah, definitely. Probably seeing Doomgaze as like the second of the 2 bosses and being on level 5 and having to just do it all over again.
Yep.
Yeah, that's depressing.
That is not a good situation to be in. You'll lose a lot of time having to go back from wherever you saved, and sometimes you may elect just to not try to do it a second time. So.
Yeah, well, thankfully we know as commentators that there are other options. This isn't necessary to do.
Yep.
Looks like we're going to get a... Oh! Ooh. That was a Golem Esper.
Yeah, that was a great one to pick up here. That solves our need for Calmness Protection on Tier 3 of the final Kefka fight.
Yeah. Now if we can just find that mute, we're golden. All we gotta do is get through the seed.
Yep. Foon Baba here is the first of 2 bosses here to get to the floating continent here. So generally not the most dangerous boss, especially nice to have some protection from the thunder or lightning element here, but should make quick work of this.
And using that, I love how much he's using that multi-summon to get through his fights, and along with the landslide, the non-elemental damage to take down the thick Baba.
Yep. Bahamut, a fantastic Esper. Really can be can get you through a lot of early games. And in Moogle Cup, we have the flag to allow you to summon it more than once in a battle.
Mm-hmm. We've got the cranes here.
And it was a Gogo. So character 6 has been located here on NoobTree's side.
Yes. Okay. So we've got... That's our character, and then we'll have to get 4 more checks for Espers, which that opens up Zone Eater. Probably not going to see Floating Continent. He's got plenty of options to go to.
Yeah, certainly. I think in a really great spot here, though. Knowing getting your 6 characters found and then just needing to find Espers is a really good feeling. Certainly, the characters are harder to find sometimes, and once you've got that out of the way, then you can really just focus on doing checks. There's a couple of checks that you can peek and see if they'll be what you need, but that's got to be a great feeling.
Yeah. It looks like we are going to get a Kefka at Narsh check.
And probably, I think we'll probably take it here. Unlikely to be a character, I would presume, so probably going to hopefully lead to one of the Espers that we need.
Yeah. Very bold, not saving, but then I guess unless you're the wrong level, there's not a whole lot out there that can kill you.
And looks like we're taking some. Looks like we pulled a Moogle Charm off there on Soyr's side. Found a great encounter there. The 3-pack of the Evil Oscars. Lots of good experience. But I wonder if they're feeling maybe a little under-leveled, or maybe trying to get off of a multiple of 5 there to not be vulnerable to Doomgaze. But taking just an extra grind fight.
Yeah, I actually wonder, was that on purpose or was it did we forget to put the Moogletron back on after the Coliseum? I honestly don't know, but either way, it worked out.
It did work out. Yep.
Yep.
So we've got the Stooges fight here on NoobTree's side. The colors of them kind of indicate what element they use, and you need to kill the one at the top. I can never remember their names, but and he's fire, so weak to ice. And if you don't kill him first, as you just saw, he will revive his fellow companions.
Yes. Now, thankfully, NoobTree's got all the offense that he could ever want. We really didn't talk about, not Celis, Terra coming with the Grand Train lore. So she's already stacked for good magic damage.
Yeah, just to add that to the list, and before too long, if they, I think that we put the Atma weapon on the Terra, we'll have great offense from physical damage as well.
Yeah. Now, one thing I don't know if I've noticed a whole lot of is, how are we doing on cure magic? Have you?
I have not seen any.
I want to say that we've learned life too, but you know that can be danger in the later parts of the game.
Could be. We there's a couple of other kind of niche options. So with lore, it's possible that we have Pearlwind. I don't think I saw it, but we could potentially learn that in that Stooges fight there. That can be kind of a fallback option, but you really want to find Cure 2 at minimum, and ideally Cure 3, or you're gonna have to maybe think about, do I need to maybe go to a shop and find some X potions or some elixirs before I go to Kefka's tower? So.
Well, our runners are making a liar out of me. It looks like they're going to delete.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got an Esper there up at Kefka at Narsh. I'm a little surprised that we're doing the elite river check here, but we're gonna get some more levels out of it, and hopefully we'll get one of the Espers that we need. We need 3 more on NoobTree's side.
This is like a meta galaxy brain play here, like, because you know your opponent's not gonna do it probably, even if you just assume that they find Terra.
I would imagine just the proximity, just having come out of Narsh there, it's the closest check. So maybe choosing to do this just based on being the closest available check. So
yeah. So I am not Elite River hater. I actually have started trying to route it in. It is a longer check, so of course if you have faster checks, you'd probably want to do them too. But I don't know, man. I think it could go in your favor.
Yeah, I think certainly at this point in the game, it's one of the reasons that people don't like it, especially early game, it can be a little dangerous here. You have to do all of these fights, and then if you get to the boss fight and realize that it's something too difficult for you, you can possibly get soft locked in here. But we do have faster checks available. We've got the Mobiliz check for Terra, which we can peek to see if that has something that we need. So. We're approaching the end here of Floating Continent, and we see a Welk here, and this is really the moment of truth here for Soyhr. We came up to Floating Continent. I think we've got 1 Esper, we got a Minerva in the 2nd spot. So will this 3rd reward lead to the character, our 5th character that we really need to find?
Yeah, I mean, you really hope that it does. That would definitely be a feel-good moment. But on the flip side, if it's not a character, it's gonna funnel him into the checks that are, and then it's just gonna, snowball from there.
Yep. We'll at least get an Esper out of this here. So it is progression. Yeah. And yep, it is an Esper.
So this is gonna funnel him into finding that Celis, and probably not the Terra, because he's probably not gonna go all the way through Magitech, but it's gonna open up the other checks that he needs.
Yeah. Looks like we are probably making our way to Ancient Castle. We did have the Serpent Trench check available to us as well, but it looks like we're going to the right place here. So,
yeah, definitely. And there is our mute spell, and if he got that up on Floating Continent, then that is definitely going to be a huge help later on.
That could be a big advantage. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be curious to see if they elect to go to Ancient Castle as well after finding the Celis. So, NoobTree obviously electing to skip that earlier, and I think found that was probably a great decision.
Yeah, but if you're in Soyr's position, I think you go ahead and do it.
Probably you need to find that next character, and it's definitely possible that that both the Ancient Room and Ancient Castle can have two characters. So
Yeah, for sure. And then you got that dragon down there too that you can also take.
yep, absolutely.
We've got a French vanilla Ultros in the Leet River. Definitely not the fight that you ever want to see. No XP, no reward, just the time waste.
Yep. Oh, and just a flame shield here for the Leet River. So certainly the flame shield can be some good defense. Helps with protecting yourself from spells like Merton and the final Kefka fight, but not the Esper that we were hoping for.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's never something that you want to see. Leet when it pays out, it's fantastic. When it doesn't, it's like Ancient Castle. It just feels bad.
So cycling through the Terra checks here. So electing to do the Zozo check here. Still have that Mobilist check, which we could peek, but this is a lot of people don't like this check. I don't think it's too bad. The one thing you just want to make sure is that you've got at least one warp stone left, so that when you're done with it, you can get out of here.
For sure. All right, so we talked about the waist shake earlier. It's a lot more dangerous now because our offense is so much higher.
It is. Yep.
However, I'm wondering, we're going to warp stone out after killing the Marshal and just not even worry about this fight.
A wise decision.
Mm-hmm.
And you get experience from that fight, but you don't really get anything else. You don't get, I don't think you get any magic points. And I think we just, you save a lot of time too, so.
Yeah. So Soyhr took the Yeti out with glue in his back pocket.
We'll have to. I'm curious how that conversation went down.
Yeah, definitely put that. Yeah, put that in your list of questions.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, and at Zozo, we've got spaghetti.
Yep. And we see that Celis really starting to put in work here. Going to be just absolutely our source of strength here, I think, as we go into the end game. So.
Yeah. And what do we get? Oh, Thunder Shield. Plagued by shields.
Yep. So Soyhr now making their way to the basement check, which we know. I think this is an Esper unicorn, I believe. But we'll be curious to see if we go to the Opera Disruption check or if we decide to go to Magitech Factory.
Well, we know that if Soyhr decides to go full Magitech Factory, that's unlock. And I don't know what his check count is, but that could get him very close to skip.
That would certainly be a great play. Certainly, the other thing I'd be thinking too, though, is that Serpent Trench is still kind of weighing on my mind. I don't think we go there, but it's certainly a faster check than going through all the way through Magitech and not getting the character that you need. So,
yeah, for sure. Chicken filling us in. Soyhr is at 13 checks and Noob is at 14. So nowhere close to skip, unfortunately.
Yeah, we need 21 checks in Moogle Cup, and only needing a couple more key items here. So in order to get skip, you need to do some extra checks. I don't know if it's possible that we could get unlocked too, though, and depending on how are we feeling and do we have enough power. Sometimes you might want to go for a check and take some extra dragons. A couple of ways to do that, but the pace is pretty good here. I think certainly on NoobTree side, it looks like we still need the 3 Espers, just 2 on Soyhr side and the 1 character. So both needing 3 things.
Yeah. All right, so Soyhr is parked outside of Magitech Factory.
Okay.
So we'll see if he goes all the way through or not.
I would presume if you still need that character, I think you kind of have to go all the way through.
Yeah.
Looks like we're an Opera Disruption on NoobTree's side.
Oh, this is a curious play, especially like you said with that Mobilize that you can peek.
Yep.
But he is running out of options too.
We actually we kind of are. We might actually getting to a point here where we need to find the seventh character just to find more checks to find these espers that we need. So
Yeah. He knows where Gao is, but you're not gonna go back up the mountain for Gao. You're not gonna do that.
probably not.
Remind me, has NoobTree done Triton yet?
I don't think they have, and so you might be inclined to go up there needing. There's at least one Esper up check up there, and the Dragon as well. You might be inclined to think that maybe we need to go pick up that Gao, but Gao's not one of those characters having only 2 checks that really makes you feel great about finding a character that leads to the things that you need. So
yeah. Guardian going down really quick. Man, his offense is just fantastic.
yep. It's only going to get better here. That Atma weapon will be online before too long.
I don't think we're going to see an auction house move. I could be wrong, but I'm not sure in the new Moogle Cup flags if there's an Esper in the auction house.
So we reduced it from 2 down to just 1.
Okay, there is one.
And we made it a little bit friendlier too. I think the likelihood of the imp or the airship showing up is, I think we turned off one of those flags. So it is available, but of course, it can take a long time. It'd be very trolly, and you need the money to do it as well. So I don't know if that's something that they're considering right now.
Speaking of character 7, we picked up a realm.
Well, that's a pretty good character to pick up here. Let's see here, peek it. So a couple of quick checks here, and this one being peekable, we can see if it's a character. We probably would have elected to just walk back out of here, but this might be the Esper that we need.
Yeah, this is also your spicy chicken.
Ooh. So probably I think we have more than enough offense to deal with this. That Celis and that VK ignores damage looks like doing almost 20,000 per swing here, but if the Celis goes down here, gets stopped or something, could be a little more challenging.
I think Celis is the spicier chicken in this fight for sure. All right, so let's see what we get from this. We're hoping for an Esper, hoping not a shield. All right.
Get the Phoenix Esper, so that's great welcome news. Looks like it's got Cure 2 on it as well, so if we were worried about healing before, at least we've got a little something in our back pocket now. And Soyhr, approaching the 3rd phase here, Badge Tech Factory, got that Esper at the 2nd spot, so we'll pick up this Terra here at the end, and we'll just need 1 more Esper for unlock. So.
Oh yeah. She's gonna be really happy to see that Terra.
Absolutely, and we know that if you just go to the cave to the sealed gate check, it'll be there. I don't remember what the well check had, but that's also pretty quick as well. And if you don't find an Esper there, you can work your way up to Kefka at Narsh. So.
Weldt Gate had Gogo, so that's really tempting to go to, but you're not going to be happy when you see it.
Yep.
All right.
And NoobTree's taking Mobilus here. Did we see if they went down to the basement and talked to the girl to see what the reward was?
I don't think they did. I think this is a blind check.
I certainly think that's a fine play here. We approaching that point here where we may just end up getting check skip anyways, and seeing that it's not a character probably makes it worth fighting. Ooh. But unfortunately, we run into Magimaster here.
Well, with that Celis, I don't think it's going to last very long. Yep. That is an amazing Celis.
And great to have Magimaster out of the way as well. You get the Mega Elixir, and now you know that when you go into the lanes at Kefka Tower 2, which is a terrible spot to run into some difficult bosses. Usually you only have 2, maybe 3 characters in a lane. Great relief just to know that Matcher Master is out of the pool.
So that was a VK from the blind mobilist
Yep.
check. So definitely not what you want to see.
Yep. We'll be picking up another Esper here at the cave on the Veldt, but we'll need one more after that. So
Yeah. But the great thing is this is still anybody's race.
it certainly is. It's very close. I would be hard pressed to just say anything other than I think they are about just dead even right now. So
All right, so we don't have to check the monster in the box. We've already got our offering. We don't have to loot anything, and NoobTree's actually been pretty good about not looting, just going through. He knows he's already got everything he possibly needs, and just getting out.
yeah, looks like NoobTree. I'm looking at their tracker as open about maybe 10 fewer chests right now. So certainly been doing a little less looting and just kind of trying to make their way through the checks as fast as possible.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's one of the hardest things to learn while playing this game is knowing when you have enough. Because as RPG players, we are like hardwired to try to unlock every chest that we find.
Yep, you just need to be able to win, not win more.
Exactly.
Now, the Rexel fight here, still annoying here. We've got that VK, which is not optimal. I can't remember if it was on NoobTree side, we picked up those ice rods on one of the 2 sites here, and that would certainly be the choice here. We need a way to just do some single target damage.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it was Soyhr that picked up the ice rods, so we're just gonna be swinging wildly, and you know, watching the guys disappear.
Yep. All right, we are down to the point here. So as soon as Soyhr finishes this this Atma weapon fight here, both runners will just need 1 item. We need 1 Esper on both sides actually. So
Yeah, so like I said, this is a very, very close race. It's really going to depend on where NoobTree goes to find that last Esper.
I think NoobTree has fewer checks available. They've got the so they've got on Realm the Auser Mansion check. They could do the Gogo check. Soyhr has more options available, having just gotten this Terra, but also that can be a little overwhelming to have 5 checks and not really sure where you want to go. So
Yeah, well, it looks like we're going to go up and see Triton. Now, was Triton the Genji glove?
it was, yep.
Oh,
So we won't get the Esper that we need here. Definitely, if we do all 3 of these here, that will be skipping itself. We actually might want to even think about skipping the dragon here. I think we're already up to 18 checks here on NoobTree's side. And if you do the dragon, you do the Triton cliff spot and the Yeti spot, you probably would warp out of the Yeti spot when you see that it's a character. But definitely going to be 3 checks here and not get to the unlock that we need.
Yeah. Oh man, this is gonna be so close. Because here we see, yeah, Sawyer's doing the Veldt check, which we know is gonna give him Gogo. Again, not that Esper that he needs.
Yep. And if they go up to do Kefka at Narsh, though, they will get it. But that's always a tough choice here. Do I walk all the way up there? You know, if I see that it's a character up at Kefka at Narsh, also, then am I doing the long walk down? Am I resetting? And you know, maybe foregoing the progress here, like we're taking this Cranes fight. Do we elect to just reset and just lose that as well? So I'm never sure if I should walk up to Kefka or Narsh or not.
Yeah. This is a hard choice. And the thing, right, is neither choice that you make is wrong.
That's right. There's no wrong decisions in routing. There's just sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. All
Looks
right. So,
like we're just walking out. Okay.
well, you got Terra. You still have Sealed Gate. I don't know if you go for Gogo because, again, like we said before, characters often lead to characters. So you might not want to take that risk. And the Zone Eater check is, let's face it, it's annoying.
Yep. Probably one of the top 3 worst checks in the game. Can be very trolly with the guys that knock you off the bridge. So we're doing the sealed gate check. I think this is going to lead to unlock here. And the only question is, do we just run right through, or looks like we're going to check the treasury, which I don't believe NoobTree decided to. So maybe pick up any last remaining gear here that we might need before Kefka's Tower.
I mean, that hero ring's really nice.
Yep. Always take an elixir. Any X potions, things that might just kind of keep us safe in Kefka's Tower. So,
Yeah, I mean, we picked up a couple hyper risks. Nothing fantastic, but there were some useful things.
it looks like, if I'm reading this correctly, Soyhr is currently at 17 checks. This will put them at 18. When you're 3 checks away, there's a couple of ways to get to that 21 that you need and get skip. So once they get their Esper here, well, it'll be interesting to see. Do they? I don't remember if they've taken like maybe Opera House Dragon. You can go in the center lane of Kefka's Tower and get 2 more checks there. We'll have to see what they decide to do, if they want to just walk up the tower or maybe go for skip.
Oh, I think at this point, I think you go for skip. If you're that close and you've got the easy checks to get it, just get it.
Yeah, absolutely, and it gives you some extra power. So if you're at all worried about that, or just it, certainly the worst thing in a race like this is to, wipe possibly to final Kefka. Getting those few extra checks in, the experience and the items that you get, just makes you feel a lot safer.
And chat will be happy that we have the auction house.
Okay. Well, they are taking it. So the gentleman at the front door will tell you if there's an Esper in here. So there must be if we're doing it. We'll just have to see if how quickly it decides to give it to us.
Oh, but the guy at the door said that no glowing stone. So, oh dear.
Did he? We'll get another shot here. It usually says the auction will begin soon if there's not one. So we're gonna go and looks like maybe sell some gear, or
I think we're just resetting.
oh, there isn't. Yep. Okay. So, well, we do have Owser's Mansion here, so at least there's another check nearby.
Oh, and by the way, take that, Professor Wiggle.
And on Soyr's side, it looks like, so we're doing the Opera House Dragon, knowing that we just need 3 more checks. I would presume that we're going to do this, and we'll probably do the 2 checks in the center lane of Kefka's Tower to get skip here. So
yeah, that would be my play for sure.
Yep. And so Soyhr now in go mode here. Has unlock and knows exactly what they need to get skip, and is really just gonna hold down the forward button now.
Yeah, he's probably going to be happy to see this Skull Dragon too, knowing that he's also got the Celis VK going, I believe.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. On NoobTree's side here, so this Owser's Mansion will give them 21 checks for skip, but if it's not an Esper, we'll have to figure out where we're going to go to find that last Esper. A couple of options available, but didn't get that Gao up at the Triton Cliff, so we'll have to see where they find their last one at. Hopefully it will be here.
Yeah, I'm really hoping for NoobTree that it's here. Oh,
Ooh.
well, okay.
Not the worst character to pick up here by any means.
No.
Since they're having two relatively quick checks.
Yeah, you get Search the Skies. This is probably the best character that he could have gotten here. just because of the free check and search the skies.
I think so too. Yep. So
Yep.
Sawyer making their way to the tower here. I presume going to put their 4 characters in the center lane and take the 2 take the dragon and the Atmospot. Looks like that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't be mad at finding Setzer.
Yeah, I think there's not many characters I'd want to see there, and Setzer's probably one of them. You know, maybe a Lock. Lock has a quick check. Sabin maybe a quick check, but
Not to mention that was skip for him, so he
Yep.
can bypass doing the center lane and warping out.
Yep. Yeah, relatively neck and neck still here. If NoobTree finds their next and last Esper here, maybe at Colgen, then I'd say that probably going to be going into the lanes of Kefka Tower relatively the same time here. So there it is.
And there it is.
Yep.
There it is. All right, go mode for NoobTree. Soyhr getting his skip. Still anybody's race. We don't know what's in the tower. We do know that it's not Magimaster or Poltergeist or Doom, but that means that there could be a Doom. Never mind, there's a Doom Gaze right there.
Yeah, and it looks like an instant reset. So
okay, that is unfortunate for Soyhr.
And did they save after the Opera House Dragon? It looks like they're walking back in. I don't think they did. So they're going to have to do this again and then decide what they want to do.
All right. So unfortunately, that is quite a bit of a time loss. But again, it's not over till it's over.
Absolutely not. Yep.
And if there's one thing to be said about these runners is they are very strong runners in the Moogle Cup.
Yep. Again, I'm glad I did not have to face this field. Some of the strongest runners that I've seen, I'm not sure that I'd take more than a game or 2 off of them in a long set myself today. So
yeah.
All right. Well, we're doing. Looks like we're doing the left lane first here with Edgar. Realm, I don't think has been leveled up at all, so it's really just Edgar here. Realm does have some spells there, including Ultima, so not definitely can contribute a little bit here, and this should be a pretty easy lane to get through.
Yeah. The nice thing is you got Realm pretty early or pretty late on, so she might not be on par as the same level as the rest, but she can still do a lot of damage. The Shrapnel, though, I hate Shrapnel.
And the Realm has gone down here, so Eddie does have Bolt too. So Inferno has 3 parts to them, the middle part being weak to the Bolt's lightning element, and have just what we need to get through this. So.
Yep. And we've got Soyhr doing another try at the tower. Now, is he going to walk it, or is he going to do the skip again?
I assume we're going to probably take the Moogle Charm off here and try to get off of, I think they're on level 40.
Yeah, that would probably be the best thing to do. Just take that grind fight on the way there.
Yep.
Right, so the one big advantage that Soyhr does still have is he has that mute spell. I'm not sure if NoobTree ever got that. And I have said for a while now, I would rather have mute than calmness protection for Final Kefka because I think magic gives me more of a headache than tier 3 does.
I'd be inclined to agree with you. And not only is magic a headache, but if you don't have mute, the spells that magic's cast, they take a long time. And so having mute just, even if you're not worried about dying, it can really just speeds up that second tier. Okay, we're doing this again. I think we're looking to take our grind fight on Sawyer's side. Hopefully we can get a good encounter and get off of level 40 quickly. And this is a pretty good encounter to find.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to give him the XP to get off that fight, or get off that level.
A new tree side here. Looks like we found the ghost train. We don't have blitz, so we can't suplex the train and get access to bum rush here. But we use X Zone. Ghost train being vulnerable to instant death, and take care of that very quickly.
Okay, so here's a question for you, Taylor, because you were in the last Moogle Cup before the flags changed. How do you feel about the undead flags being turned off, especially now that we've seen Phantom Train and Haydn in a row?
Yeah, you asked the question at the perfect time. I think it's probably the best change just in terms of helping players learn the game. So obviously, the Moogle Cup is really it's to help you learn how to play, but also be an introduction to flag sets like Ultras League. Like this Haydn fight here is one where in the old version, it was an undead boss. You just had to use a Phoenix Down or a Vivify on it, and you never really got to experience the dangers that Haydn can provide. I know when I transitioned off of the Moogle Cup to Ultras League, the first couple times I fought this boss, I had really no idea what he could do. So, great change.
Yeah, I'm actually right there with you on that. I think that definitely helps learn. And again, that's what Moogle Cup is all about.
Yeah. One more lane to go here on NoobTree's side. Looks like Soyhr getting through the Doomgaze fights here on the second time around. And then we'll just need the one more dragon.
Mm-hmm. All right, so real quick prediction. What do you think's going to be here?
Let's see. We haven't seen a goddess yet, so maybe a right side goddess.
Right side goddess. All right.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to say the anticlimactic leader fight.
Ooh. Okay. We've seen most of the dangerous bosses. I'm trying to think of what we wouldn't want to see, and there's not too many left here.
Yeah, we kind of know where everything dangerous except for goddess is. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we see the behemoth. This is actually a pretty good fight to see here. So, we'll get a behemoth suit as a reward out of this. I presume we won't have any trouble taking it down. And if we have any needs for armor, maybe that behemoth suit can kind of shore up the party a little bit. So. In the first phase of the behemoth fight here, you don't want to use Pearl or Flare. That will make him angry. But once you get to the second phase here, if you have a form of instant death like X Zone or Doom, he's vulnerable to that. It looks like Terra's just going to swing the Atma weapon and gets put to sleep here. Yep.
Yep.
And probably just annoying here. You'll just have to wait for I think is it a capybara of to wake you up, or
oh my gosh, like you had to say that because I had it right on the tip of my tongue, and then you actually said what it was.
No. It looks like they made it through safely, and we'll now be on to the final Kefka fight here. So we'll want to just make sure that we've got our Espers equipped. I know that the Golem Esper we had access to. Make sure that we've got all our relics, all our equipment ready here, but we'll be very shortly on to the last fight.
All right, so prediction time. How long do we think the final Kefka fight is going to take NoobTree? With all that offense, the only thing going against him is no mute. What are we thinking?
It should be pretty quick. This Celis has basically just been getting through everything. I think that would be the only real danger is if somehow we lose the Celis. I'm gonna say 6 minutes and 58 seconds.
I'm gonna say a flat 7 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'll go pretty quickly. There's a couple of things here we'd want to watch out for on tier 1. We can get quaked or shockwaved, and tier 2 we have quarter into 10 hits. As long as we really just keep that Celis alive, we should be in great shape. But being a VK user is always a little tricky. You're in the front row, you have low HP on purpose, and there's a couple of things here that can potentially take the Celis out. So
Yeah, especially when you've got Octo VK going, you can't control where that damage goes. It could kill, you know, all the parts except for head last, and then you're quaked. Now,
Absolutely.
with his okay, break
Go ahead.
going
Yeah.
out. Yeah, with his HP values, I think you could survive a quake just fine, but still.
Yeah, it must. So this Celis must have just a ton of HP. They still have 5,000 HP and are still swinging for, gosh, what is that? That's 32k around. So, actually not in a lot of danger of getting quaked here. And yeah, I heard somebody say this on a restream a couple weeks ago. Going for the full bandsaw strat here with the Genji glove and the offering. So,
I mean, it's my favorite thing to do. It's crazy, and it can lead to a lot of trouble, but man, it sure is fast.
yep, it is fast. It's a little bit of RNG too. Live and die by the VK. So
Okay, so we've got tier 2 coming up. We don't have mute for magic. I don't know if we have a whole lot of ice spells for Tiger, but honestly, I think that VK is just going to do all the work. Let's face it.
I think the only danger here, so again, is when magic dies on death, they have a chance to cast the quarter spell. And if you kill magic and hit on the same turn, you can potentially get quartered into 10 hits. And so, even though Celis has about 5,000 HP now, if that were to happen, it is possible that they could potentially take some unwanted damage from 10 hits and go down here. I think that's the only real risk.
I think what you do then is you pop that golem on and just, you know, YOLO it.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be a great option here. And being in Moogle Cup, we can multi-summon being on. We can use the golem on this phase and on tier 3 next.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do. All right, here comes the 10 hits.
Ooh.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about what their armor situation is because those hits are hitting very hard.
Yep. Yeah, 1,000 is more than you'd like to see. You know, being in the front row is a little dangerous, and luckily it wasn't the last of the 4 bosses to go down here, so we have a chance to fix things up and heal people back up. But certainly that was a lot of damage.
Yeah, but it only makes that Celis stronger.
It does.
All right, here comes the quarter. We don't have to worry about 10 hits. Of course, it's not going to hit the one person we want it to hit. It's going to hit the Atma user.
Okay, on to tier 3. It looks like on Sawyer's side, wrapping up the hide and fight there in the center lane. I think probably one more lane to go.
Yeah, and it wasn't a really difficult fight, if I remember right.
Now there's a little bit of risk here on tier 3. If you've got the Genji VK offering going here, and you can choose to just swing it right away. But depending on how much damage you're doing, you may or may not get through both of them, and you could potentially take a Meteo. Looks like we're gonna get the golem up here for calmness protection, but we want to make sure we don't we do a little bit of damage and can get through that that kind of nasty phase there that sleep will do. So.
Oh, I think we're getting through it.
Yep.
I think.
Yep,
yeah.
We may not have even needed to cast the Ultima, but I think it was the safe play. So.
Yeah. No, I think. Yep. We are done. That's the wonderful thing about Octo VK. Being able to pump it up with a muscle belt and 100+ HP Esper all seed.
And on this last phase too here, so if my math is correct, I think Celis is doing about 58,000 each swing. So we just need to do a little bit of chip damage, maybe cast Ultima again, and then this tier 4 will go down pretty quickly.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't just swing with Celis, because then you get in the Ultima counter phase, and that could be no good. So yeah, like you said, just that chip damage at the beginning. But let's see what he does.
Okay, we're going A full bore here.
I think we might be good.
We didn't get a counter.
Oh,
Looks
we got
like
a
they
crack
just went for
pow.
it. Yeah.
And GG's.
GG.
This is why I don't math on stream.
Yeah, like I said, I retired from math.
All right. GG's, we have our Moogle Cup 5 champion, NoobTree87. Fantastic job.
Looks like a final time of 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 50 seconds. That is an incredible time in the Moogle Cup. So.
Yes, for sure. They will be coming in for an interview in just a few moments. In the meantime, watching Soyhr take down the senior behemoth, getting that X zone out to kill the second form.
And going to use that vulnerability to instant death there, casting X zone.
So aside from the character hunt on... No, it was basically, yeah, the character hunt for Soyhr early on and the Esper hunt for NoobTree later on. I mean, that led to some huge divergence, but it led to a really fun seed too.
Absolutely. Two great runners and a really great conclusion here to Moogle Cup 5. So.
Mm-hmm. And while we watch Soyhr getting ready to go up to his final Kefka, I want to remind you that as soon as the Moogle Cup is over, we will have the Chocobo Invitational kicking off very soon. It's a new event that we have that has 4 different flag sets, each very fun, slightly different, kind of a new tournament style that we're doing. So definitely go on the Discord and check that out if you get a chance. And then there's also the fact that as soon as one Moogle Cup is over, we are always taking signups for a new one. So if there's anybody out there that is interested in learning this game, you can join the Discord, and we will happily send you to the right place to sign up for that Moogle Cup, where you will be paired with a mentor to help you learn the game inside and out, pick up tips and tricks, and all the fun stuff that goes along with it.
Yeah, absolutely a great way to learn the game. A fantastic experience, a really formative experience for me, getting paired up with a mentor. I think that's just a really wonderful opportunity. And in the meantime, we've got a couple of other events going on too. We've got our Moogle Mob, which we'll be figuring out what to do here, kind of in the downtime between the next Moogle Cup. But lots of opportunities to learn and get a chance to interact with some really great experienced runners.
All right, and we have our Moogle Cup champion, NoobTree, in the channel with us. NoobTree, GG's.
Thank you very much.
Yes, congratulations, GG's.
Yes, and Golden Chakra, the mentor that helped him out along the way. Welcome in.
Yep, thank you.
All right, NoobTree. How do you feel, man?
I'm definitely not shaking. I'm definitely not super overexcited about this. Especially considering how that seed went. I feel honestly really good. The first thing I want to say is shout outs to all the runners who have been in the Moogle Cup. Everybody gave me a run for my money, and I had a lot of help from every one of them. Not just the mentors, but the runners too. Everybody's pushing everybody to be better, so that was cool. Special shout out to Tall Grant if you're watching. Thank you so much for giving me so many like tips and clues early on from player to player perspective. To let me know how a former Moogle, a fellow Moogle such as yourself, looks at things as well. And also, shouts to Golden Shocker. Dude put up with me for a lot of silliness. So.
Wasn't bad.
I mean, I hear he has a silly side too. He just hides it really well.
He does. But I'm not supposed to tell you that, so.
It's okay, we all know.
If you guys heard the voice chat though during the race, you would have known that already.
So, you had some overwhelming power from the start. You found that VK early. You found the offering in the Coliseum after having to buy another crow string and going back to it. How'd you feel with that? Like, how'd you feel with the start in the beginning?
So the start, like, I saw Shock, I saw Rage, I looked at the Rage, and we had Behemoth and Brontar. And I was like, okay, I'm like we talked about it before the race, I'm gonna YOLO if I have power starting out. I'm just gonna try to be as aggressive as possible, take checks I don't think I would normally take, and just go out the gate. And it worked out really well. Finding some earrings and hero rings as well. Um, and then the curse ring I bought. It was for X Zone, but we got the Esper with X Zone. We get to the Coliseum. Literally, the conversation that happens is like, "Oh look, there's an offering, and it's free. This is as free as it gets." Break.
Yeah.
And we are like, "Oh, well, it would have been free." Uh, so then we just decided to move on for a little bit. Thought about it. Got the we're like, you know what, the offering's too important to pass up at this point. And it just from then on, the power felt great. It was the finding things that felt a little rough towards the middle. A lot of the checks ended up being dead. No Espers. We knew where characters were. We just wanted Espers, and just the game was like, "Hey, you should try Elite River. Guess what? It's Shield. Another VK on this long check, and Zozo is not rewarding. Mobiliz is not rewarding, and I honestly was struggling to figure out where I should go next. Options were limited. At that point, it's too late for me to commit to Gogo or Gal. We're talking about different strategies like that I'm going through in my head, and the only thing I didn't have to worry about was how I'm going to get through this next fight, because we have that. All the answers. Atmo weapon, Ultima and Shock. Well, Ultima came last, but Shock and the Rages, it was just everyone on the planet was scared of me because they might be hiding something that I need, and I'm going to destroy them for it.
Well, and you definitely did that. Even saw you go into the auction house and try to attempt to find the last Esper there, which, by the way, chat was very happy about.
So I was really hoping that it was there, and I didn't catch that they didn't say glowing stone still available. I've never run into that where there wasn't one available in a Moogle Cup seat. I was like, wait, I thought it said it. Maybe I just self-inserted it, and it was like, nope, just $50,000 leather hat. Do you want to buy it? So that caught me off guard a little bit. Uh, I do like auction house as a cheeky play. It's fun. It's what I would call the equivalent of package check for a boss hunt and free enterprise, because that's not something you want to rely on, but sometimes you just gotta, and it's fun. Like I think if the viewers loved it, awesome. I'm glad I put on a show for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. Soyhr is now heading up to tier 4, so he is almost done with his final Kefka fight as well. It has went really smooth for him. He did find the mute, which I'm not sure you had found, NoobTree. But again, you had power overwhelming, so who cares? Yes, he is on tier 4.
I didn't find mute. It honestly, once at a certain point, that's not something that I was worried about anymore. Like, we had Golem pretty early on. Zukama's protection was there. We had Vanish as a backup strat. And we had 2 VKs, a Genji Glove, and an Offering, and a lot of HP.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, power overwhelming. It's magical. Taylor, I'm talking too much. What do you got?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think hit the nail on the head there. I'm really kind of interested to hear what were you thinking. We saw you go up to try to talk Cliff there. Did you know that the Gao was the character behind the Yeti spot already, or I didn't catch if you actually went down there and checked the altar or not? But
yeah, early on we swung by to do Terra's Welk check and Kefka at Narsh, and we saw the Gao sitting there.
Yeah. I think at what point were you thinking maybe we need to go get some more characters? I think you had the Azur's Mansion check left. You had, maybe the Zone Eater check, but really it's never a great feeling when you're starting to run out of character checks.
Yeah, honestly, every few seconds I was thinking, should we go get Gao? I'll be 100% honest. We knew some characters were there. It was one of those like, well, we'll keep them in our pocket for later, like cash for a rainy day type things. But it was looking like that rainy day was upon us. You're absolutely right, and it just worked out. After the Tri-Talk check, it was like auction house, and then Alzers, and then Setzer, and Kolingen was the answer for us. So
yeah. And welcome sight to see Setzer there. But just looks like Soyhr has wrapped up with an unofficial time of 1:26:08, and GG Soyhr.
GG's.
GG's. We'll see if we can get him and Glue in for an interview as well. Taylor, do you have any more questions? If not, NoobTree, you want to put anything out there?
Nothing from me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did my shout outs. I am very excited to have been a part of this and got to play a lot and enjoy this randomizer that I've been watching before but never took part in. And it does feel good to be in the winner's circle. But everyone was awesome. Everyone was fantastic. The Moogle mob situation was fun. And I think it was a great starter for Moogles to like get involved before actually doing the Moogle Cup. So I hope that keeps going for future runners. But other than that, I'll defer to Golden. I'll say thank you all for putting on the restream, and I'll take a step back so Golden and Soyhr and everyone else can have their moment in the sun with Glue as well. Sorry, I forgot you, Glue. I'm sorry.
I guess just to chime in real quick. I mean, obviously, NoobTree has been awesome, and I'm just so proud of everything that he did. So, you know, just very well done. Especially that Kefka climb, by the way. That was a speedy one. Even by my standards, that was a heck of a speedy Kefka climb. So just really happy for NoobTree. He's won a lot of races recently at Worlds Collide too. So um, he's pretty dangerous. Might have to watch out for him. And obviously, just doing the Moogle Cup as a mentor is just a great process in general. So I'm really just happy to be involved in the community as usual. So, with that being said, I don't have a whole lot more to say, but I do just want to say appreciate everybody that's involved in the Moogle Cup, everybody that's helped run it, and everybody that's in the race stream tonight. Thank you all.
Well, I definitely can't do it without you. And they're all gunning for you, Golden Shocker, right? They're coming after you.
I'm ready to go whenever anybody wants to take a shot.
Well, if anybody can do it, it's going to be this new set of Moogles. They are absolutely incredible. And speaking of incredible, we got Soyhr here with us. Soyhr, GG's.
GG's. GG's NoobTree.
GG's, well done.
Taylor, started off.
Yeah, well, it was a really great race. We saw a lot of divergence. So on NoobTree side, they went to the engine room check, found that Celis pretty quickly. On your side, you went up to floating continent, I believe, and found the Gao at some point. What was your initial decision and thinking on going up to floating continent?
I was at 4 characters and like 6 or 7 Espers or whatever, and I knew there was 2 guaranteed progression checks up there, so it was early enough in the seed to do that. And by that point, I already faded Edgar's checks, and they weren't guaranteed for me, so I went there instead. And then had okay fights throughout that entire area. But that was the reasoning behind that, was just because it was guaranteed progression. Kind of the same with like, oh, we found Celis, and now I'm doing Magic Set because it's guaranteed progression. I'm still looking for my characters. So
and obviously you took the Gao. We saw you do the Veldt check. It was an Esper, I believe. Did you ever have any thoughts of doing the Serpent Trench check? I think there was maybe 1 or 2 others available, but
by that point, no. It's like I got the Gao, I did that check, and then that was when I think I was going to Coliseum and then to Floating Continent because of that. And everything after that was just pretty bad for what I was doing. And then just unfortunate the engine room was the one that had the most progression. So
Yeah, but that was a great play choosing to go through all of Magitech, because that did get you your last character. And then both of you, it was finding that final Esper, if I remember right, that was the real kicker. Soyhr, you actually had your unlock first, along with your skip, and then you had the unfortunate Doomgaze encounter.
yeah, that was really bad. Actually, I see to not save at certain points, and that burned me.
Yeah. Oh, I have felt that burn, and it hurts. but there's nothing you can do. You never know what you're going to run into. So
Yeah, so and then once I ran into it, I was like, well, I saw that they were 40 when I was putting the stuff on there, and I kind of just immediately was like, I'm resetting after this. So
yeah, which is what you do, and that's rando being rando. But man, you played well. Um, you did. You used the rages great. You used the multi summon on that Bahamut. Like that was chef's kiss. One of the favorite things for Moogle Cup for me is that multi summon, and you used it, and it was great.
yeah, it was pretty much my only offense. So
Yeah.
oh,
Do I even want to ask how Glue responded in your ear when you took that Yeti out?
he knew it was coming.
Oh, okay.
He was like, "Who are you replacing?" With like a tone in his voice that I knew he was going to be disappointed. But I was like, I'm thinking about it as I was walking to the engine room, knowing I was pretty much going to like I was trying to debate who I was going to use, but he was like, make sure if you do replace Umaro that you put the Moogle charm on somebody, because that was another thing that I just kept messing up on too. So he heard it and knew what was happening. We talked about it prior to that, but we also knew that if Mog was there, then that was a thing.
Yeah, of course. You are the unofficial King Moogle.
No, actually, NoobTree took that title, so I guess he gets to have the Moogle.
You have to
King
give
now.
away your profile pic now.
Yeah.
Oh.
He doesn't get the dogs though, so that's okay.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Taylor, you got anything else?
Yeah, I think just thoughts on the Moogle Cup as a whole, and any next plans for you.
Moogle Cup's actually really good. I've done it a couple times, and just this was I hadn't done it in like 2 or 3 or whatever, and was very happy with how I performed and how I learned and cut some fat out of my stuff. Um, Probably do like an Ultras League seed here or there, but I am also in the mentor thing for Zelda A Link to the Past right now for NMG. So that's kind of going to be my focus for a little bit, because I also mm, coming into this match, I was like feeling a little bit of the burnout from so many seeds and doing this quite a bit. So just one Ultras League at a time for right now.
So, well, there's certainly
Yeah.
some great next steps on the Worlds Collide side, but some other great games out there. And just want to say, great job. We saw some really fantastic races from you and the rest of all of the Moogles this tournament. So, congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah,
GG's
and
again to NoobTree.
definitely throw out some links in the general chat for your Zelda runs. Let's show some love to that community too, for sure.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. All right. Well, if nobody has anything else, thank you, racers. Thank you, Restream team. Chicken and Papa Shango in the background. Could not do it without you, Taylor Swifting. First time being in the booth with you, and man, it was awesome. Let's do this again sometime.
Absolutely. I had a great time. Thank you so much to everybody.
Mm-hmm.